What's up guys, Matt back again, and welcome back to another community-driven video, the Matches Peaches community top 10 most desired Masterlise figures for the Dragon Ball movies. Before we dive into today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials for the latest updates and behind the scenes content. Check out the description below for helpful links on how and where to buy the products featured in my videos. Also, join our amazing community on Discord. We would love to have you there. And of course, if you're feeling generous, consider becoming a YouTube member. Not only will you support the channel, but you'll have a chance to win brand new Dragon Ball figures every month. As always, guys, I'd like to thank this comment for being the first to suggest pretty much any Dragon Ball movie character. That's kind of how I'm going about this. If you even just mention one character from a particular video that we haven't covered yet, then I'm just going to yank you out. So with that being said, if you have not seen a video covering a top 10 for a particular arc or, type of franchise like Dragon Ball GT, which we have done recently, then comment it down below and maybe your comment will be the first and it'll get featured at the start of one of these videos. And of course, this was a video that was voted on by our community. We all got together and voted on which are the top 10 characters that we would want to see the most as Masterlise figures. So jump on in the Discord server. There's a link in the description below. There's bunches of Dragon Ball fans and collectors just like you who want to get started in this. But also, I am still sick, as you can hear probably in my voice. So I'm going to do my best to go through this. But yeah, I've been coughing a lot. So if there's a bunch of cuts in this video, I'm so sorry. But I'm doing my best because I want to get these videos out and get them straight to you guys because I love making these videos and talking about this stuff with you guys. But with that being said, let us dive right into this video, starting with, obviously there's so many Dragon Ball movie villains, right? And characters in particular outfits that we would love to see as Masterlise figures. But I'm going to go ahead and start with I'm going to just do it. I'm going to do my favorite one out of all these guys. This is definitely my number one choice for any Dragon Ball movie villain, and it's probably not one that you would expect unless you've been following my channel for the last year or so. And I would love to see Dr. Willow from the second Dragon Ball Z movie, The World's Strongest. Now, I think a lot of people kind of sleep on this movie. I think it's one of my favorites in all of the Dragon Ball Z movies. I think it's probably in my top 5 for Dragon Ball Z movies. It's a very fun movie. A lot of different characters get involved, like Master Roshi, because, they're trying to find the world's strongest so Dr. Willow can take their body. But Dr. Willow jumps into the fray towards the end of the movie, and his design is just so unique and so awesome. To have something like this as maybe like a Softfix or a Masterlise extra figure would be pretty incredible. There's just so much detail here. They can even do kind of like a translucent head cover for his brain, very similar to how the Dr. Gero figure is from Fear of Androids. So that is definitely a very cool choice. And again, yeah, he's just huge and imposing. So if people love big figures, I think Dr. Willow would be an awesome choice. He's a deep cut character. We never get any figures of Dr. Willow, like, period. So having him in the Masterlise line in some shape or form would be incredible. All right, moving on. This is our only Broly on this list. Yes, I know. The reason that he's the only Broly on this list is because we already have so freaking many, dude. And no, it's not Bio Broly. He didn't make this list. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Bio Broly did not make this list. He was like top 15, maybe top 20. A lot of us don't like Bio Broly, but the one Broly that we are missing is his base form. We have Super Saiyan Broly from the first film, from the second film, and of course we have Legendary Super Saiyan from the first 2 films too, from Omnibus Z and History of the Film. So the only one that we're really missing at this point is base form Broly. Now, you could go even further and say, well, what about Kid Z Broly and all this other stuff? But the main Brolys that we're really looking at, and he is the one that we're missing, and he is somewhat different. And if they want to reuse some of the back to the film sculpt, maybe change the legs a little bit so he's not like floating and maybe he's not leaning like some of those figures tend to have, and, you know, his demeanor is different and everything. Give him that more, like, you know, innocent, calmer demeanor. That would be really cool to see. But yeah, Broly has enough figures, but if he were to get one, I would love to see his base form in Masterlise. Up next, we have another popular movie villain, one that has gotten many figures already, and that's Cooler. So we've gotten Cooler, we've gotten Final Form Cooler, we've gotten Metal Cooler, but I would love to see his true Metal Cooler form. I don't know what the official name for this is. I'm gonna call it True Metal Cooler, but it's his actual form, not one of his clone Meta Coolers. It's the form that he has at the end of Return of Cooler, where Goku and Vegeta are, you know, doing their last-ditch effort to destroy him. This could be another awesome figure that is huge and can even be maybe a diorama piece. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a straight Masterlise, actually. It could even be like a diorama piece where, you know, his lower half is missing, because he kind of is just like this amalgamation of parts and mechanical pieces. So I wouldn't really mind if they wanted to do something where like his lower half is gone, but the figure is big and in the Masterlise style, but not like, you know, the statue style, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it would be really cool. And this is a very unique look for Cooler. It looks completely different than like all of his other forms. So it'd be really cool to see a giant, true Meta Cooler. All right, moving on. I'm about to make one of our users, Stardust, very happy because we voted on this character as well. This is from a movie that I really don't like from Dragon Ball, but he loves this movie, and it is Lord Slug. There were a lot of back and forths on which version of Lord Slug that we wanted to do. Did we want to do Old Slug? Did we want to do Giant Slug? But I think we landed on the most iconic and unique looking one of them all, and that is young Lord Slug, but he still has his cap on before he kind of reveals himself as a Namek. Now, if Bandai wanted to be cool, they could do an E-moving where you can swap the head and just put in his Namek head. That's fine, but this is him before he goes giant. I think this is very cool. And yeah, as much as I dislike the Lord Slug movie and Lord Slug as a concept, I would still welcome a Lord Slug figure happily into my collection, because he's a new character and he's from a movie and another character that we just don't get any figures of at all. All right, up next is one that fans, I think I see this actually requested very, very often. He's like up there, probably top 3 for movie characters that people want a Masterlise of. And of course, it is Tapon. It is Link from The Legend of Zelda, but Dragon Ball form, pretty much. You know, obviously, Tapon would be awesome to see if he's there playing his ocarina. That would be an awesome figure. It would be super unique. And Tapon is just a very awesome character. He's not like very grandiose in his power, like a Saiyan or something, but he is very cool. He has that cool edge factor with the sword and the mystery behind him and his very cold demeanor. But seeing his friendship with Trunks is just very cool. Wrath of the Dragon is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z movies. It's definitely top 3 for the non-canon movies. So I would love to see Tapon taken from that film and brought into figure form, because he is yet another character we never see figures of. And of course, you can't really have Tapon without Herudigarn. So Herudigarn also has a couple different forms. We joked saying maybe they'll do bottom half Herudigarn and top half Herudigarn, but obviously they wouldn't do that. I hope they wouldn't do that. But we landed on final form Herudigarn, as that is the most iconic and recognizable version of Herudigarn. Having him with his skull head just doesn't feel right. You know, having him as the giant grasshopper that he is, I think is perfect. And again, this is another one. I think a lot of these could end up being giant figures, whether they're Masterlise Extra or Soft Vix or just big Ichiban Kuji figures. I think they would be perfect. So Herudigarn is yet another one. If they did Tapon, then Herudigarn would certainly have to come along with him. All right, how about another highly requested character? I see this one quite a bit as well, but there's only one version of him that we included on here because we didn't want to have a bunch of versions on these lists. So we decided which one is the more iconic and cooler version, and it's Super Android 13 instead of Android 13. I love the meme, the trucker hat meme from Team 4 Star, but Super Android 13 is probably the more iconic version of Android 13. It's his full power form. He's blue and he has spiky orange hair for some reason. So while the form doesn't, aesthetically make a whole lot of sense, it is very cool looking and people will recognize it a lot more. And again, Android 13 is yet another character, doesn't get a lot of figures, but really deserves to be here. So Super Android 13 is yet another pick from the Matches Peaches community. All right, moving on, we have a character that I honestly want to go on a little tangent here. For the longest time, for some reason, I was like, I don't like the Bojack movie. It's not good. Bojack is a very mid movie. And then I rewatched it again with my fiance earlier this year. And I was like, wow, this is one of the best movies. Why was I hating on this? The art style and everything is awesome. But with that being said, Bojack would be a great inclusion as a character in Ichiban Kuji. And he's actually not the only character on this list from this movie. So I will say that much. Wait until the end of the video to see who we picked. I'll keep that as the big surprise, maybe. We were going back and forth also on, hey, what form should we do? And the one thing about Bojack is that his super form isn't completely unique. A couple of the characters I think end up doing this super powered up form where they go green and they have reddish hair. And while it is a figure that I would like to see, I think his regular form is more iconic and more unique. So that is the version that we decided to go with. I think it would look really cool. Bandana, super cool outfit before his shirt rips off and everything. So I think that would be awesome. It really lands with the whole idea that he is a space pirate. So let's go with regular form Bojack on this list. All right, I did not forget him. I promise none of us forgot him. He was not leaving this list whatsoever. And we have Super Janemba already as a Masterlise. So of course we needed Janemba. Janemba is just goofy and weird, but so unique. I would love to see this as a figure. Again, it's another one that could be a larger figure. If they decided to go something closer to what the Exploding Cell and Omnibus Cross coming out soon, maybe not super huge, a little smaller, but thick. I wouldn't be mad about that, honestly. It would just be nice to include him in Ichiban Kuji, but if they really wanted to make all of our dreams come true, yes, make him large, as he is large in the film, but I think it would be super cool to see him, because that's when he really starts doing the weird powers where he's punching through dimensions and it's hitting Goku and all that weird stuff. But yeah, Janemba would go along perfectly with Super Janemba and Super Saiyan Gogeta, so he's basically one of the only characters we're missing from that movie that would round things out nicely. And finally, the big surprise, right? I said there's two characters from the Bojack film. I think looking at this list, it is the only film that includes Wrath of the Dragon also had two characters. So besides Wrath of the Dragon, this is the other movie that actually included two characters on it. And it may not be who you think. It's none of the villains. It's actually Gohan from the movie. So this is Gohan when he's wearing Goku's gi. And it's crazy that we don't have a Masterlise of this yet. People would eat this up so fast. I don't know why Bandai hasn't done this yet. Maybe they're just preparing for the right time or something. I don't know, but Super Saiyan 2 specifically, Teen Gohan from the Bojack movie would be awesome. We really do need another Teen Gohan anyways, because the Masterlise that we currently have is just, he's fine. He's not awful, but he could have been so much better. So this is a path that they could do to provide us a better Teen Gohan figure as a Super Saiyan 2. It could be him doing the Kamehameha. I think that would be very cool to see. We were going back and forth on which form to use for him, and frankly, we landed on Super Saiyan 2 just because when you think of Teen Gohan, you usually associate him with this form. So that is our final choice on this list. But that's our list, guys. Please let me know your top 10 characters for Dragon Ball Z movie characters that you want to see in Masterlise. Also, if you have thoughts on this list, please let us know down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the characters that we chose. And again, if you want to get involved in these lists, join the Discord community. There's a link down below in the comment section. And if you made it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to go even further beyond in supporting the channel, you can consider becoming a YouTube member, which starts at $3. And if you want to get involved in our regular monthly giveaways, our $10, $15, and $20 members have chances to win Crane figures, Ichiban Kuji figures, and entire Ichiban Kuji sets. But I think that's all I've got for you guys today. So until the next video, I will see you all later.